Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. This is the FloTrack podcast. I'm Kevin. He's Gordon. Got a packed show today. Gordon, how you feeling?
Super packed show. Lots going on. A lot of previewing, a lot of predicting. We already had a race happen. There's going to be a race we're going to show live.
Hopefully.
Mid-podcast. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Noah Lyles running a 60. We'll see if he runs the final.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go to that live in 40 minutes from now. But, yeah. It's going to be a good pod. I'm excited.
Those of you who are listening later already know the result of the 60.
Yes.
This would be really awkward if he breaks the world record.
And we're just like...
So nonchalant about it.
It's like,
We got the prelim, though. Can we show the prelim?
Yeah,
This happened a little while ago down in Gainesville. Throw it up as a special treat for those of you out there watching the pod live. This happened not too long ago, recording 12:30 p.m. Central. Lyles won his heat with ease. We saw Kendall Williams win his heat, too. Josephus is in the 60 as well, I think. So,
yeah.
Kendall Williams looked pretty sharp, too.
Yeah,
What allows run? 674?
That's pretty slow.
It's prelim.
I know it's a prelim,
You're mad because you took the under on the over-under. You get really mad. I've already noticed
I mean,
this year.
it's 674.
Yeah. It's literally his first race of 2020.
Okay.
And he
right.
goes in knowing he does not need to try that. Let's just wait. Let's wait. Till what? In 40 minutes time?
What if 674 doesn't even qualify for the final?
I think all the winners go through, right?
Okay.
Is that how that
true,
works?
probably.
Yeah, no, I'm taking off the sweatshirt, by the way.
Oh, okay. You're getting real.
Yeah. We're getting rid of the sweatshirt. It's
all right.
done.
So before we get into the podcast, I heard your day wasn't too good.
Day so far has been rough.
Yeah.
Had to drop off all three kids, then take one kid to dentist appointment. Was on the last drop off before the dentist appointment. Couldn't locate my keys outside of daycare. My son unlocked the door to let me back in because I was dropping one off, which triggered the alarm. So the alarm's going off. And anybody who has once the car alarm goes off, your anxiety, if it's your car, goes up like
10x.
tenfold. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what else is happening or if nobody else really cares, everybody else is chill. You just feel like everybody is looking at you and you feel like time is of the essence. We figured out how to get the alarm off, which was good. Couldn't find it for forever. Eventually I had to get my wife to leave work, come bring me the keys. And as she's there, my son mentions that, hey, did you look on top of the car?
You didn't look on top of the car?
He did not look on top. Looked everywhere else.
Isn't your head above the car, though?
It's a pretty high. It's a Pilot.
Okay.
So it's like a pretty high car, which is what I realized after. Like, why did I not think of that to look up there? I mean,
this would have been the first place I looked.
Exactly. Took this stuff out, right? Was grabbing my youngest. A couple dads were helping me look, too. Like, no one thought to say it. And my son was actually, he was being hard on himself. Like, oh, why did I mention that sooner? I was like, no, if it wasn't for you, I would have driven off. The keys would have fallen off the top of the car. They would have been harder to find them.
You mentioned how when a car alarm goes off, it raises your anxiety level 10x.
Yours too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it made me think about, why don't sporting event fans use car alarms to mess with the competition?
Oh, like a field goal kicker's coming out?
And you start blasting car alarms.
Yeah. I think it does something. I mean, there's a reason they chose those sounds, right? Because they want to disturb people who are trying to steal the car and disorient them. I guess it also just it's alerting the other people that a car is being stolen. But I think that's the effect that it has on most people.
Because I when I was in Jamaica back in 2014 for the champs, the crowd was, I don't know if the vuvuzelas or something, but it was just loud noises. It felt like a car alarm.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Constantly, yeah.
And it would take time for them to make them all stop talking, not stop, but stop cheering and chanting for like the start of like a final. Because people need to hear the gun go off.
Yeah.
But I would imagine like running in that environment could probably trigger some little bit of an anxiety because you're like, it's so loud and it's just like intense.
Yeah. It's unsettling for sure. Colt's back. He's producing. Colt, you were in the chat last time though. Last episode. So we wanted to thank you for being a participant in the chat. How was that?
Of course.
How was that experience?
It was fun. I liked you guys' outfits a lot. I've had COVID since Tuesday, so I've kind of just been under the weather. I wasn't even working on Wednesday. I was planning to, but homesick.
Ugh, I'm sorry. Feel better. Thank you for doing the show anyway, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben
better now.
in the chat says, what happened with Gordon's dunk attempt? He says he's way behind the times. Is there a video available?
I did not make it, but it's about the friends you make along the way.
Yes.
Which is the chat and you and Colt. The
shoes you bought along the way.
The shoes you bought. I got new Air Jordans, so that's cool. Walk up into the club with those things on. I did not do that. But I'm gonna still get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I'll get it by the end of March.
We're all waiting for you.
Yeah,
we're all.
There's
excited.
gonna be like in the election season, you have the October surprise.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a March surprise.
A Gordon March surprise.
March surprise with Duncan.
All right, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover.
Lots to cover.
A lot of news items, a lot of previews, some recaps as well. Let's start first with the Millrose announcement. Women's 600. Thing Mo is going to be there. The world record, 1:23.44. Remember, she's run 1:23.57 before, and that was way back in 2019. So I don't want to jump ahead yet and do picks and predictions, but that number is going to be the over-under that weekend, Gordon, for our Thing Mo. 1:23.44. See if she can get the world record in the 600.
Do you think she's a bit motivated because her collegiate record was broken?
Her collegiate record that was slower than her high school time was broken. She's probably a bit confused. Like, wait a minute, I ran faster than that. But, I guess I just didn't run that many 600s in college. Yeah, I think, obviously, she's perfect for this distance. Strategy-wise, I'm reminded of one of my greatest interview moments ever. When at the Penn Relays, I asked the Thing Mo after the race, because she ran a 600 there as well, too, remember?
Yeah.
The race against Ozzie Wilson. I said, you run it more like an 8 or like a 4. And she said, I ran it like a 600.
That make you
so made me feel great. And I think she's going to run this like a 600 as well, too. So I think she's going to get the record in this one. Good field, too. Natoya Gould, Shamir Little, who ran fast already this year in a 600, Olivia Baker, and then Sophia Gararian. So that's like a 600. The cool part about the off distance is, if you're a fan of off distance, you can pull people from everywhere, all sorts of event disciplines here. So you have
hurdlers, half milers, 400-meter runners.
Exactly. And then you also have like a high school star jumping in there with some veterans and some Olympic champions as well, too. So overall, I'm excited for this field. I'm excited for this race. I mean, she's the person you want to see running a 600. If anybody can run a 600, you'd want to see a Thing Mo run it. So,
and you want to see like Isaiah Harris or Donovan Brazier, who's like the king of the 600. It's not a Thing Mo yet because she hasn't run it as often. But like,
well,
was it Kaz Loxam?
I think
it might be Kaz Loxam.
It's outdoors, isn't it?
Well, who was like the one who was like, you knew like death, taxes, and
the ones who run a lot?
A 600.
Yeah, all that whole Penn State crew.
Penn State. They're really 600. Yeah,
but Johnny Gray still has the world record. Rudisha's second. You'd think Rudisha would have been perfect for that distance just because he was good in the 4
Did he
as well,
break it though in his 140?
Oh, did he? His one? Did he go through faster than 1:12.81? I don't have the splits.
We don't need to worry about that.
Gordon continuing the streak of asking questions that we should have looked up ahead of time about very specific.
What do you want me to do? Not talk?
Well, no. We should have run that. Now I'm going to look it up. David Rudisha.
Don't look it up.
No, I'm going to look it up.
600
world record splits. Here we go. We're going to get this right now. Okay. This is according to speedendurance.com. Don't let us down. Don't let us down.
He's not going to.
We can add 114.3. Yeah, he didn't get it. 112. That record's, because remember Dwayne Solomon was taking shots at that record. Like a lot of people have taken a shot at that 600 record. So, Thing Mo, Millrose.
We'll talk about the over-under in February.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Next topic: U.S. Cross this weekend out in Virginia. Top 6 qualify for the World Championships
in Australia.
To represent Team USA. Colt can scroll through those start lists.
We don't need. Well, before we get to the start list, let's show my graphic first, because you look at these start lists, and I'm frustrated.
Can we talk about who's going to be there first?
No, we're going to talk about who's not going to be there.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I looked at the top 10 5K runners and 10K runners last year, time-wise. And highlighted yellow are the athletes who are competing. a world championship qualifying event.
Yeah.
Grant Fisher's not there. No Joe Klecker, no Kincaid, no Abdi Nur, no Tier, no Lemong, no Hawker, McGorty, Cranny, Monson, Frericks, Hennis, Schweizer, Infeld, Kipchurcher, Mance, Paige Stoner, Rogers. I could go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
They're all not running it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. Don't you agree that's not good?
Yeah.
I know why they're not doing it.
Is this different than any? If we did the same show the last time there was World Cross, would we have said the same thing?
Well, most people did world class last time.
Not most. Bowerman showed up.
Yeah. And Bowerman is a majority of the best athletes.
They were. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Just the sheer numbers have dropped.
Flecker,
and then now
Tier, and Hawker, Nur, and all them. Yeah.
Yeah, you could put together a really good non-Bowerman team now. It just doesn't surprise me. Because there's a global championship doesn't mean that everybody's going to want to participate in the global championship. They're not all the same.
Which is bad because they're all globes. They're all global. Like they should be the same. Why are we having it if it's not the same?
Yeah, and then we're going to watch World Cross, and we're going to get excited because there's going to be medals on the line, right? And people are going to be wearing their national jerseys, and you want to get excited about it.
But we're all going to be like, it's a fake title.
But then the athletes, or
it's a fake medal.
I still remember Cheptegei, right? Like falling apart in that race and how crazy that was. Like there'll be good people at the top, but say there's 250 or 200 people in the race. It's not going to be the best 200 cross-country runners or even a greater than 50% chance or greater than 50% total of the best cross-country runners in the world in that race. It's just not how it's going to be. Oftentimes countries don't even send teams at all. Yeah. Like some countries don't even send teams.
But the reason these top athletes are not doing it is because they're prioritizing their training for ultimately a strong summer over...
Well, it's in Australia, too.
Trying to peak for an Australia meet.
When World Cross is in Tallahassee
everyone will do it, yeah.
I don't know if everybody will do it, but...
Kind of like how World Indoors
more people will do it.
Portland, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an easier trip. They're thinking of this practically.
But, like, don't you think it's bad that World Athletics holds global championships that the athletes don't give a damn about?
Yeah, I don't think that's ideal. If I was in charge of World Athletics, I would think that that's less than ideal. But the other part to it is, does it decrease or increase viewership? Would more people watch? Or are people just watching essentially for the jersey at a certain point here?
Well, there's always the people who watch like global championships because, it's like, I'm watching the Olympics. I don't really know these people, but go USA.
Yeah.
But that's not the fan that... It's the principle, Kevin. It's the principle.
I understand.
It's the principle, and I just think it's like... It's sad. And again, I get it. The athletes are not incentivized to peak for a cross-country championship in Australia. But we need to not blame the athletes. We need to blame the incentivizers, which is the running brands and the governing bodies.
Blaming everybody, Gordon. I don't even know if it's about peaking or if it's just about focus. Like, what's your focus at this point in the year? And the travel involved in it too. Because I think they'd be fine going and running a cross race and not being 100% sharp and just be, all right, well, if I get 15th or 25th, who cares? This is a cool experience. I'm getting to represent my country. It's more the fact of what am I giving up to be there? Oh, I could go run in these indoor meets. Oh, and I'm going to miss a week of training. I think that is the bigger issue than worried about not being at 100%. Because even the people who win, like I doubt Cheptegei, when he did it, was like, this is the focus of my entire season. Everything is going to rest on how I do in World Cross. I don't think that's the case.
And as much as I'm not blaming the athletes because I think they're not incentivized to do it, I do think coaches overthink it. And I'm sorry, but running a cross-country race in Australia in March is not going to affect your ability to finish top 3 in Budapest in August. It's going to have zero impact.
Yeah.
And the idea that like, oh no, if you do this, you mess up your training now, you're going to feel it. It's not that much of a rocket science. Coaches overthink it sometimes, and I get it. They're much smarter than me.
They're not taking a risk.
They know how to like.
They're risk averse.
But like they're too risk averse because sometimes you gotta live a little. Run. It's not that complicated.
But again, go back to the incentives. What incentive do they have to take even a tiny risk, even a fractional risk. They don't have any. Now, if they had...
The incentive is not being a fucking baby.
Whoa.
Sorry, I didn't
easy.
mean to...
We had the explicit label on this pod.
Yeah.
No, but they don't care about that. They don't care about how they're perceived because the fan base isn't that big. What you need is the positive incentives to outweigh the potential negatives, and you don't have that. Or just, hey, we're forced to run this because the federation has said we need to run this.
Yeah, I mean, this happens in NCAA cross. I mean, the best athletes are gonna be like, oh yeah, we might skip Wisco because we're just gonna get a good training base in. It's like, I'm sorry, running 8K in Madison is not gonna affect what you do in Stillwater a month later.
So Thomas brings up a good point. It would be more emphasized if it were held in mid to late November. That might be interesting because track season's over, but they're still somewhat in shape. Or do you think the attendance
they'd
would
be
the
like,
same?
oh, I'm tired. Had a long track season. I need a rest. There's always going to be a reason to not run,
right.
But a reason to run 100 miles that week.
Would you rather?
Like they're all not running, but they're literally going to be running 100 miles.
Would you rather have it be in November or in March?
I think November would be.
Yeah, I think it makes
November,
more sense.
December would be cool.
Yeah, there's a dead spot in that winter part of the calendar too. All right. Anything else on this?
Okay, so now let's talk about the actual people going.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. I had to get it off my chest.
Well, give me your top 6. I'll give you mine.
Okay, well that's hard. I can give you obvious ones. So
Or give me winners. I don't know. Give me something.
I can give you 3 men and I can give you 3 women.
Go.
The 3 men are Emmanuel Bohr, Sam Chalenga, and Dylan Maggard.
No, not Hillary Bohr. I think Hillary Bohr's going to be on the team too.
Well, those are 3.
Okay. 6 get to go.
Okay, then throw in Hillary.
You had Maggard in there.
I got Maggard, Chalenga, Bohr.
Ooh.
That's 4.
Okay, Arasa's in there. Eric Jenkins. And here's one. I don't think you even saw this.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Oklahoma State.
Isai Rodriguez.
Yeah, put him on there. That's 5.
Cross country ready.
He's going to be a
How
hit.
many people on this list ran a cross country season? Very, very little.
Okay, so we're going both Bohrs, Chalenga, Maggard, Isai Rodriguez, and then who's our 6th? In no particular order, of course. Let's scroll. You scroll. Help
Anthony
us out.
Rotich.
No.
Zach Panning.
No.
Let's see.
Reed Buchanan.
Leonard
maybe?
Career?
No. Career.
Bernard Keeter.
No.
Yeah, another steepler. Jenkins.
No.
Okay.
It's Career.
Leonard Career. All
So
right.
That's our 6. Career, Bohr, Chalenga, Maggard, and Isai Rodriguez. Book it.
Women.
Okay, top 3 are guaranteed.
I think Kaladi.
You think Kaladi?
I'm thinking Kaladi.
Kaladi, I think Palladino, and Lipari. Those are my 3 locks.
3 locks.
Kaladi, Palladino, and Lipari. What are the other 3? Who else are we adding to the team?
Let's see. You said
Cole, can you go to the women's list?
Yeah, Cole, pull that up for us. Bethany Haas is in there. Oh, Emily Durgan. I know you're big on her last fall, right?
I was.
So Durgan before.
Mikowski.
Steph Bruce came out of retirement, which is cool. I'll put her.
Steph Bruce is never going to retire. She's retired like 12 times.
I love it.
And then she's like, oh, I'm coaching. No, I'm going to still run this race. Oh, I'm going back in.
Oh,
Katie Izzo's good.
So I'll say Bruce, Bahalski, and Durgan. The other 3. There's our picks. That's 6.
What about Laura Thwett?
3? I think we got our 6.
No, actually, no. You ready for the wild card?
I
mean, McKenna Morley.
Okay.
Man, this is harder. God dang it. No, there's someone I really... I like... All right, this is my wild card. Katie Camarina.
She was in... Wait. College?
I think she's Portland State runner.
Okay. Yeah.
Katie Camarina. I'm putting her on the team. Okay, so what are our 6? We have...
We're like 8 people.
We have
Kaladi for sure. Kaladi's on the team.
Kaladi, Lipari, and Palladino.
Mm-hmm. Durgan, 3. Bruce, Bahalski. That's 4, 5, 6. And then
I'm sussing up Bahalski and I'm putting in
cool. All right.
Camarina.
All right. What could
That's
go
a
wrong?
hell of a preview.
We're not gonna.
That's a hell of a cross country preview. Don't we talk about the race tactics?
There's no over unders here. Well, I want to see ultimately who ends up on the 4x2K mixed relay because there's no
4x1K.
No, you 2K. I think.
No, it's 1K.
I thought they. You sure?
Maybe it's 2K. You're right.
Australia is very pumped about their team because they could potentially have McSwain, Hull, Hoare, and Caldwell.
That's true.
Who ran really fast last year but didn't get on the team. So I looked it up. They're not running trials, obviously, for the U.S. team. It's just you're just taking into account your point value on distances from, I think, 15 to 5. Or 15 to maybe steeple. So you don't need to run in this race to be considered for the relay. I wonder who's going to end up doing that ultimately. Because and it's kind of cool. Australia's hosting, and they're like, yeah, we're going to bring out
or
the best people.
The stars, yeah.
Yeah, like,
which is cool.
I only know their team, so it's not easy to say they're the favorite, but it's going to be tough to put together a team better than that unless Kenya or Ethiopia gets there. Yeah. They got to bring heat. If you're going with McSwain, Hull, Hoare, like that's a really good top 3, right? Those are 3 people who are top 10, 12 in the world.
On the junior side, I think it's interesting the young twins are running.
Yeah.
They're the thumbnail of this podcast, so we should talk about them.
Well, and the women's, the junior women's race is really good too. 6K. There's just like a lot of high school stars who ran really well and in the postseason meets as well too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to talk about the youngs? I mean, the end of the season didn't go well for them at NXN.
Maybe that wasn't the end of their season. Maybe this was the end of the season. Well, I meant
the end of the high school season. Well, I guess this
is the final cross. No, there's 2 more. They'll have this one and then one at Worlds.
Worlds? Hey, that's a better way to go out.
What if they win World Juniors?
Their cross country season is gonna go like into mid track season if you're running in high school, right?
Yeah.
It's just like they're already gonna start running track races and still be racing out in Australia. Cool though, if you're in high school, trip to Australia, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean there's like some cool little like storylines where, the Foot Locker champ Cole Matheson's there and he's going up against Lex and Leo Young. So you kind of see where that happens. You also have NXN champ Irene Riggs and the Foot Locker champ Carrie Beloga going up against each other. So you see a lot of like.
Wait, are you saying it's cool to have all the best high schoolers run in the same one race?
Yeah. I think it's
almost as if we've recreated what existed 15 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for the pop quiz?
Maybe 20 years ago.
Pop quiz?
Sure.
You're going to know it. If Kaladi wins, she will have won Foot Locker, NCAAs, and USA Cross.
Yeah. Oh, who else has done that?
She would be the first woman to ever do it.
Okay, I was going to say, how long is that list?
Because not many women won NCAA and Foot Locker until Molly Seidel and Kaladi. Yeah. 3 men have done it. Can you name them? The 3 men who have won Foot Locker, NCAAs, and USA Cross.
Wow.
3 men.
Foot Locker, NCAA.
I'll give you 4 guesses to get 3.
Bob Kennedy.
1 for 1.
I'm just trying to think who won Foot Locker and NCAA. Oh, Meb. No?
Oh. Meb is not one of them. Meb won cross country? Meb didn't win NCAAs.
Yeah, he had to have.
NCAA cross? No.
Now I'm trying to think back to Foot Locker winners. Is there somebody recent in that list?
I don't know.
Abdi?
Abdi? No.
All right, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm going Bob.
Come on, think like.
Oh, Ritz.
Ritz, yeah,
okay.
And think like that.
Think like that.
Yeah, think like Ritz.
Think correct answers. So there's only one more.
Yeah, it's between Ritz and Kennedy. It happened between Ritz and Kennedy. I guess Meb never won USA Cross. Is that true?
Well,
did Meb win Foot Locker?
I'm pretty sure he won Foot Locker.
I don't know if he won Foot Locker.
Google Meb Kafuzi Foot Locker. Someone help me in the chat. Galen Rupp?
No.
Oh, wait, that wouldn't be between. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Did Galen Rupp win Foot Locker? Galen Rupp never won Foot Locker.
Got beat, right, by Withrow that year. I don't know. What's the answer? I got 2 of the 3.
There's a connection. He has a connection to one of the. First, initial Adam Goucher.
Oh, okay. Should have known that. I had more time to think.
You needed to do your research.
Yeah. Hey, you wouldn't have gotten one of those, so I feel good about it.
I wouldn't have gotten any of them.
Yeah.
Because I've only been watching track for the past 10 years.
A decade. Tampico says, you guys talk about juniors and cross, but don't talk about Shanti versus Guerrerian at VA Showcase. Put the video up. Check it out on our YouTube page.
Also, it was a 500?
500, yeah.
It's like...
Jackson broke the record in the 300 and then ran against Guerrerian in the 5. Yeah.
I love the 3, and I love the 5, and I love the 6, but like, there's a little bit of like, we got to recognize it's not a genuine event. And that what matters is...
Oh, and cross country is? So what's a 6K anyway?
Yeah, what is a 6K?
That is tough, though. They're going for the women's race. They're going doing 6K, so it's be a totally different dynamic. That's true. For the high schoolers, at least. Okay, we got a couple other stories we want to get to. We're going to talk about Peter Bowl, talk about NCAA marks from NCAA meets potentially not counting. We'll do over-unders. But let's talk Allyson Felix. The field at USC has been named after Allyson Felix. It's called the Allyson Felix Field. Felix attended USC, graduated from USC, didn't compete for the Trojans. I think about this in a couple different ways when I saw the story. So first of all, the person who the field was named after, they should not have had the field named after him.
Who was it?
Dean Cromwell. Long history. People can Google racist, anti-Semitic comics. Yeah.
Not the best.
Olympic coach at some points. But yeah, the field should not have been named after him. But then you think, all right, she attended there. And I remember we talked about this during the Olympics when like the USC track account
they
was like,
claimed her.
They added her to the list of medalists. And I was like, no, the education school should, because that's where she graduated from. I mean, she worked out mostly at UCLA during her career. Her brother went there. I get it. Like there's the connection, but it is interesting. And the first time I saw the story, I thought, oh, she must have given a bunch of money, because that's usually how things are named after people on college campuses. But then she didn't even give the money. So I was thinking, was there somebody else there that went to USC that they could have named it after, or that they should have named after? But then I thought about it from the other perspective, which is, how big of a deal do you have to be? How much of an icon do you have to be in a sport? To not have to compete for a school, to not contribute any money on the funding for the naming rights, and still get something named after you?
You gotta be pretty goated.
Yeah. So I applaud her. This is amazing. I think the term Felix Field, it also sounds cool.
No, I mean, they missed out. They should call it the Allyson Fieldlicks.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's the best idea. Allyson Fieldlicks? Like, perfect. Welcome to the Allyson Fieldlicks. Cole, back me up here. That was so much better than Allyson Felix Field.
That's extremely good. Yeah, that's
the Allyson Fieldlicks. Like, come on.
Cole, you don't have to just say good job, because
it writes itself.
But she has an honorary doctorate from there as well too. And she's given commencement addresses.
That's not honorary doctorate. It's not a real doctorate.
Well, no, but she has an.
She's not really on the track team, and she hasn't a real doctorate.
But again, like I kind of went 180 on this of just like respect.
It shows how good she is.
Just respect. Like they want. Santa Monica College, right? Named after Carl Lewis has his name on the track.
Yeah.
There, like at Santa Monica. So it's cool to have spaces named after icons, especially when the person you're replacing, right, was not befitting of that honor at all. So
I guess it would be like if, like, Akron University named their arena LeBron James Arena.
Yeah, because similar, right? He didn't go to college at all.
Yeah,
right. Obviously, has a strong connection
to Akron.
I mean, and she definitely has a strong connection with Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Talked about how they used to, just a kid, go through walks at
She's
USA.
totally going to light the torch.
You think that's the next step?
I think 2028 she's lighting it. I mean, we talk, like, come on.
I think
LA track, she'll have retired. It's like,
she's going to be
most
involved.
Decorated. Yeah, it's going to be her.
You know who else is going to be involved, though? Magic Johnson. And we're going to get the single best Magic Johnson tweet.
Don't you love it when Magic Johnson talks about sports that happened like 5 days prior?
I know, but that's what's going to be great. He's going to light the torch, and then 6 days later, he's going to say, the Olympics are underway, and I was honored to light the torch. It's going to be 10 out of 10. Be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears.
Allyson Fieldlicks. It's such a...
I mean, simultaneously one of the dumbest things you said, but also one of the best.
greatest.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
And Colt knows comedy.
Cold nose cop.
He said it was good. Peter Bull, 800-meter runner, returned a positive test for EPO. We can throw up his statement. Hold on. Stop. Go back, pull that up again. I'll reset that.
Speaking of
The Magic Johnson. This is from 2014. The only way San Antonio or Miami don't win the championship is if neither team makes the finals.
I mean, that's some analysis. That's almost as good of analysis as we gave on the cross country.
No, we need some preview.
We kind of Magic Johnson the cross country.
I mean, it's a classic NFL analysis of like you can't win a game by losing a game, sort of stuff.
You gotta score points to win.
800-meter runner Peter Bull from Australia returned a positive test for EPO. We can pull up his statement here. He's denied it vociferously in the tweet. I just read part of it for those of you who aren't watching. It's critically important to convey with the strongest conviction that I'm innocent and I'm not taking this substance as I am accused. I asked that everyone in Australia believe me and let the process play out. When I found out last week that a sample from a urine test taken on October 11th had tested positive for synthetic EPO, I was in total shock. To be clear, I have never in my life purchased, researched, possessed, administered, or used synthetic EPO or any other prohibited substance. I voluntarily turned over my laptop, iPad, and phone to Sport Integrity Australia to prove this. I have requested the analysis of my B sample, which will take place in February. Given the subjective nature of interpreting this kind of test, I've asked that the lab perform a secondary confirmation. Above all, I remain hopeful that the process will exonerate me. My career hopes and dreams are literally hanging in the balance over these next few weeks, and I ask everyone to respect my privacy as I remain provisionally suspended. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I just don't know. That's my thoughts. Like, the guy tested positive. You have to assume it's accurate. You got to assume that if it's not accurate, the B sample will exonerate him. Mm-hmm. You have to assume he's either telling the truth or he's lying. Like, mm-hmm. That's what it is. Just one or the other.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know if he's telling the truth. I don't know if he's lying. You know, your heart wants people to be telling the truth. Your heart wants people to aren't lying. You also sometimes your heart is your opinion is skewed on your relationship with the person or how you perceive the person. If the person is more distant to you, like you kind of aren't really, the person isn't like, you don't have a connection. You're going to be more maybe skeptical. If you have a connection, you'll be more, believable. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, it's not on me to have an opinion whether or not it's true or not. My opinion, this is the reality. Test positive. It sucks for him. It sucks for the sport because he was a great runner. Mm-hmm. And we got to just keep moving. So I don't really have like an opinion. My opinion is them's the rules.
Wait and see what the B sample returns.
I mean, what do you think?
I mean, don't they usually wait until the B sample is run before they announce something like this? That was my thought. I don't know if it's a different sort of process here. I mean, EPO is one of those though where it's pretty clear cut.
EPO is like a legit drug.
Yeah,
it's like you're gonna be like, well, there was in a burrito. No, that's like EPO.
Right. So if it's true, I mean, and there are such things as false positives, right? That's
what B samples are for.
Yeah, exactly. It does exist. So you give them the right to have, like he says, have an opportunity to see what the B sample says. I mean, he was world championship
fourth. Yeah, fourth at the Olympics, right?
He was seventh at Worlds this past year too. So he hasn't broken through and gotten a medal yet. So maybe fewer people know him than should. And just because the 800 has been so full of parity, it's not like he's been racking up a ton of wins. But he's a very accomplished 800-meter runner. I think it would be a huge blow to mid-distance running in Australia if this were the case. He's run 144 flat, but yeah, I just think.
Hey, we're gonna cut through this.
Colt, let me just finish the point. No,
Colt, we're going live.
Lyles, okay.
Lyles, okay, on the track, 60 meters.
This is the final.
This is the final.
A special for those who are watching live.
So
if you're not watching live, Get ready.
Hey, you get to watch it on FloTrack Podcast. This is great about this podcast. If you're a loyal fan, you get to watch track live with us. So there's his brother Josephus on the left.
Are you going to commentate this thing?
Kendall Williams there in the middle, and then on the right, Noah Lyles with the lane open in lane 2. What do you think it's going to be?
What did I say?
I mean, we thought it was going to be fast, and it's not because you ran 674.
No, what was the over-under? I took the over. I think you put it at like 50, over 57 or 58.
I don't know.
I think he's going to run 62.
Yeah.
We are away.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he may not win.
He's getting a little chopped up there because of the recording, but it's clean here.
Did Williams win?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Who was that?
We don't know. Clock's still running.
Did he win? Williams 659.
59. Lyles was north of 660.
Wow.
Well,
Lost to
Josephus.
his brother. Did Lyles celebrate
Upset.
with his brother?
Now,
661.
did we specify which Lyles?
The guy
on the
who
over?
was going to win the 100, 200 global double hasn't been done since Usain Bolt.
That's okay. It's okay. We're okay.
Lost to his brother
It's okay.
and his teammate
Well,
in 661.
Look up his. So Josephus
He's good.
last year,
You guys running well.
underrated season for. Remember, he got added to the relay pool, and it was for good reason. The way he was running last year. What was he? Did he end up being 4th or 5th at USA's in the 2? Like, he's in the mix. Obviously, he had an incredible prep career, but yeah, he went 5th at USA's last year, 19.93. So 100 PB, 10:03. But yeah, 661. Real close race though between Williams and two Lyles brothers.
I mean, I guess it's a good rust buster. It's a solid time. It's not low 6.5s, which I thought we would be getting, but it's still like a respectable 661 for a 200 meter runner. That's good.
Yeah. Well,
it is just weird though. He got third. He got third in the race, which is kind of so his.
Well, remember 2019 when he won in Doha?
So his undefeated streak
early
in 2023 has been snapped.
That's good though. You wanna
get the loss early.
Yeah,
Take the loss.
exactly. Works for the 49ers.
It works for like college football. You lose early, you're more likely to make the college football playoff compared to losing late.
All right. A couple weeks ago, someone in the chat or an email or I don't know, someone asked, "Hey, Gordon and Kevin," but you answered the question. What's the deal with the situation with World Athletics and the meets that they're going to count towards world rankings? Because they said, hey, anybody who wants to have their meet count, you got to go through this application process. We need to be more selective about which meets count. And you understand that. Got to have minimum standards and stuff. And you said, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. It's going to be fine. Rules can change. This will all get sorted out. But it appears you've changed your tune. And now you are full-on panicking about different meets.
I'm not panicking. I'm still in it's going to get figured out. But
we got a tweet here from
Pole Vault Power.
Pole Vault Power on Twitter. People can read it. But what do you think?
Yeah, so
Break this down.
I'll read the tweet. It says, they're only going to include meets added to the global calendar. Each federation is responsible for either adding meets to the calendar or approving meet directors to add their own meets to the calendar. USATF has not yet told meet directors how to get meets added. Now, this was a tweet. When was this sent? In January. So, just a few days ago. And people are reacting to certain college marks not showing up on the World Athletics list.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the thing. I just think it's a process issue. I don't think it's that these meets aren't doing a correct job. I just think they just aren't going through the process of before you put on a college meet, you had to make sure you did the right things to be on TFERS and follow the NCAA rules. Now these meet directors are going to be like, okay, you got to do that, but you now also have to do this new World Athletics rule that they never had to do before. But now World Athletics is creating rules. They gave people a heads up. People kind of just what? Ignored it, because if you're a meet director in Bozeman, Montana, you're not thinking about applying your meet to World Athletics. And so if you change the sort button by date, Colt, on that, just the top column on the left.
The blue. Go down. Lower.
Yeah,
Left.
to the left. No, back up.
You're going up and down. Go left.
Keep it going.
Our towards date.
There,
Look at the headings.
click that.
He's just doing it to mess with us at this point.
Yeah, so these are all the meets that are going to count in the eyes of World Athletics in the indoor season in the U.S.
In the U.S., yeah.
If you scroll, there's not a lot of meets there. Like, keep them going down. Like, SEC championships, not there. Big 12 championships, not there. Like,
Penn State tune-up, though.
All the conference championships are not there. Like, notable meets that the Clemson meets are not there. And they're all not there because the meet directors have not submitted the meet in time to World Athletics to be counted.
Okay, but how much is that going to impact their rankings moving forward in these indoor meets?
Well, it's going to, if you run a fast time there, it's going to affect your ranking. It's not going to affect American athletes because American athletes who are, there's never been like an American athlete who's really relied on an indoor mark to boost their ranking to get selected.
To outdoor championships.
Okay. There was a situation with, I think, a heptathlete where her mark wasn't deemed a high enough quality thing because people are like upset about like, hey, I do my heptathlon at NCAAs and someone else does it at a national championship and they look at that heptathlon as a better mark, even though, you know, because you don't look at NCAAs as an important meet. That's a whole different story of like running 10 flat at 5 different meets all count towards a different number of points because 10 flat at Diamond League is better than 10 flat at Stanford Invite, which doesn't make any sense, but that's the rules. At the end of the day, though, world rankings for the U.S., it's not really going to be an issue for like the marquee athletes because they're going to have it on time standard, and it really is going to affect like the third high jumper here, the second discus thrower there, which is still matters because they're part like it affects them, but it's not going to be like a sport-wide, like all of these great athletes not going to worlds. It's going to be select few, which is a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a rising tide of problem.
Do you think, though, it's going to get sorted out this year? So
I think it's going to get sorted out this year because I think all the meet directors are going to be like, no one wants to run at our meet because we don't count. So, like, all right, let's make our meet count.
But what about the SEC? Will the SEC think of that?
The SEC coaches will be like,
hey,
my athletes from the Caribbean are not going to want to run for my school because when they run most of the season, none of our meets are counting. So can you
just fill out this?
I'm sure Mike Holloway is going to be like, yeah, every meet I go to, I want to count to World Athletics.
Yeah.
And so there'll be pressure from the coaches to the meet directors. A lot of the meet directors are coaches.
Yeah.
And it's going to get it sorted out. It's just that people were kind of ignoring World Athletics warning. And now, what's the rooster has come to roost?
Chicken has come home to roost.
Chicken has come home to roost. Is that what it is? Chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken has come home to roost.
I like how you
the deadline passed, and now we are where the marks that people ran at Clemson are not considered valid. Like, you look at Matthew Bowling's World Athletics profile, his 300
didn't exist.
But if you look at his T-First profile, it existed. Which is kind of funny.
What about Steiner's? Didn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
So according to them, Abby Steiner still hasn't run a 400 since high school.
Correct.
That's going to get confusing.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I mean, I get it, but I also, you got to have minimum standards for the meets. I get, and they're also cracking down on competition manipulation worldwide, right? So they probably, this
isn't World Athletics' fault. What they're asking, it's not like they're forcing all these meets to like have like
certain
doping and like protocol and all this stuff. They're just having like normal rules. Like there wasn't doping protocol at the Arkansas Invitational. All there was the meet director of Arkansas Invitational was like, okay, we follow all these rules. We're officially submitting it to World Athletics. We good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. We see that you're a normal meet.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And yeah, I paid $25 fee.
Yeah.
And at $3.99 processing.
But I don't think it's gonna be a big problem. It's just gonna be a hard adjustment for this first season, and then it's gonna be fine moving forward.
Tampa Eagle says Gordon is wrong about the effect of these rules. An athlete will not get lanes in big meets.
What big meet?
Big meets in general. Pretty classic. I don't know.
No,
Tampa Eagle didn't say.
Again, the people, all the marks at Millrose are gonna count.
Yeah.
And the lanes at big meets, but like, if you run the world record in the indoor 400 at Clemson next week, and it doesn't count towards World Athletics, whatever, you're going to run again. You know when you'll run again? You run again like a week later at a meet that does count, and maybe you run a bit slower, but like your talent doesn't just happen once. Like, these athletes are going to run again at meets that count, and then it's going to be fine.
So part of it isn't having. I mean, is it having the correct blocks and stuff too? Like what is it?
There's a bunch of different stuff.
Okay.
There's requirements to be like in the like official gold, silver, bronze continental tour.
Yeah.
That's different. This is just to be like considered like, yeah, this is a track meet. This is a track meet. It's just to be called a track meet.
Well, because here's my thing. You're thinking about it, and people listening mostly are thinking about it in terms of how's this going to affect the rankings? Who's going to get to go? Which is, on a whole, a very big problem, an issue, because it affects a lot of people. But I'm thinking about it from what's the most high-profile situation where this could become an issue, and it's a world record being set, and then it not counting, right?
Yeah.
Because we've seen that before where, like at Clemson, like when Coleman ran that time, and then they had to like drive around to try to find the drug testing, but then ultimately it was something with the blocks, wasn't it? Like they didn't have like the right types of blocks. Like that's where it's going to get frustrating and annoying, is like, oh, they set this world record and the timing looks legit and everything like that, but let's go check and see if the meet is sanctioned. And if it's not, then not only is it not going to count as a record, it's not even appearing, right? Because those marks before, they would appear, but they just wouldn't necessarily be sanctioned as records. You're just saying these times they don't even exist anymore.
But here's the thing. Like, Abby Setter
doesn't have a T-first thing anymore, right? Because she's a pro athlete.
Yeah.
So like, where does that time even go?
Well, it's still technically.
I'm having some existential questions here, right? If a time is run in a non-sanctioned,
it's the same thing. If I go down to the Texas campus, and I tell Julian Alfred, hey, we're gonna go run at this track by our house. She goes there. I hire a timer, like a legit timer. We set up the official timing, and I have her run 100, and she runs 10:06.
Okay.
Right? And then I go or she runs 10:06, and I'm like, all right. And then she doesn't. I'm trying to get to the point. She runs 10:06.
Yeah.
Will the NCAA accept that mark?
But see,
they wouldn't, because they're like, why are we going to accept the mark from the Gordon Mack random 100-meter dash he did in his backyard with the sure it's official timing, but like that's not a meet.
But there's got to be some difference between that and meets that were previously established that we used to count.
Yeah, they're previously established, but you got to reestablish it. You got to like resubmit your paperwork.
Yeah, I know.
That's all you got to do.
All I'm saying is where this is going to bubble up outside of our little small community is not, oh, the person who was 49th on world ranking should have actually been 36th because of this time getting disqualified. It's going to be that so-and-so's world record doesn't count.
My driver's license
hold that up.
It's expired.
What are you doing,
It's expired, right?
Yeah.
So if I get pulled over, like, can I just be like, guys, like, I know how to drive. I was driving with a normal license. Like, no, but you still got to get it renewed. That's what these meet directors have to do. They just got to renew their meets.
I like that you used a visual aid. I don't think I would have understood it if you didn't physically take your driver's license out. So I want to thank you for that.
But you know what I mean? Like we people sometimes
like that you
need
admitted to a crime on the podcast.
Renew. They need to renew their application.
No,
they gotta,
I'm not saying that it's wrong that they're asking them to do it. I'm telling you where I think it's gonna like come to a head is gonna be on world record stuff or American record stuff.
Or these meet directors would be like, maybe we should just like...
Yeah, they should do it.
We should just log onto the computer, type in the information, and click enter.
Yeah.
Because you know who did that? The Penn State meet director was able to do it. John Gondak was like...
Shout out, Gondak.
We're going to make sure the Nitty Line Challenge counts. I'm going to go log on to the computer, hit the button, and now it counts.
Now we're all good.
The BU meets did it. The UW meets did it. You can do it. You just got to know to do it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I'm just saying.
I guarantee you those Gainesville meet did not do it. So that mark that Noah Lyles ran is not going to show up on World Athletics.
Well, do you have to guarantee it, or can you actually look at the list? We have the list, right?
That's the list. If it's not on that list.
Is that current?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just refresh it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe someone hasn't updated it, but
But
that's
you
the
still
list.
lost the over/under, by the way, even though the time doesn't count.
Time didn't count. So did we lose?
That's what I'm saying. These times are just disappearing into the ether. That's what I don't like about it. From a stats perspective, it's weird. It doesn't exist.
We'll keep track of it.
They will? Even
Yeah,
if it's not?
we need to update the account because I tried to log in.
I know. I gotta log in.
I gotta give me the password. Did you change the password again?
No, I didn't renew. I need to renew it.
We gotta renew it. Now we definitely need to renew that.
We need to renew it, yeah. Now it's way more valuable than it ever was before. Teals to Pie is great. Okay. Over-unders. This week's over-under, we already did one with Lyles. We're going to do 3 more right now. So far, it looks like I'm leading over-unders. Going to try to keep that going as we move forward. Here we go. Let's start first at the MLK Junior Invitational in Albuquerque. Julian Alfred is running a 60, Gordon. I set the lines again, by the way.
Okay.
Gordon was supposed to. He didn't. Here's the first one.
Busy.
Here's the first one.
Hold on. I got the under wrong. What did he end up running?
61. Yep.
Dang it.
So I get another win in my column. Good. We're updating these in real time. Are you ready? Julian Alfred. I put the line 709. Over under 709 in Albuquerque. She's really good.
So she's run 704.
Mm-hmm.
709 is quick. It is at altitude. So that is a .02 help. She runs 708. I'm going to go with over. I think she runs more like 710 to 713. So I'm going to go over. What do you think?
You said what? So you think 713?
Yeah.
I
710 to 713.
And we're not doing altitude conversions. We're doing time on the clock.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be big early for her. I'm going under. I saved my unders from last week.
Okay.
I'm using them this week. Next one. Let's stay there. The 400 is good. So this isn't a specific person. We're just going to say winning time in the men's 400 in Albuquerque. But the following people are in the race. Elijah Goodwin, Jonathan Jones, Matthew Bowling.
Godwin.
What did I say?
Goodwin.
Sorry, Elijah Godwin. My apologies. Elijah Godwin, Jonathan Jones, Matthew Bowling. I put it at 45-7.
45-7.
45-7. Yeah.
I struggle with 400 indoor times. What is like typically the fastest NCAA time?
Well, do you want me to give you Jonathan Jones's PR?
Yeah, indoor PR.
Indoor PR for Jonathan Jones is 45.38.
Okay.
That was in Lubbock. And then Elijah Godwin's time, I think it came from, did it come from that race where he ran against Randolph Ross last year? No, it didn't. It came from 2021, 45.37. So very
close.
close.
Both run 45.3s.
Yeah. Bowling hasn't run it. Obviously. So
I'm going under then. I'm going way under. Yeah, for sure.
45.7?
Under 45.7.
Early
It's
season?
going to be 45.4 to 5. 45.4, 45.5.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go over on that one. I think just over. I think we might hit a 71 on that one. But it's still going to be fast for this early in the season. Then we're going to go out to Iowa for the Hawkeye Pro Classic in Iowa City. Clayton Murphy in the 1K. I went 218.5. 218.5 as our
That's
over
pretty quick,
undie.
right?
Well, it would be his PR indoor 1K is 218.6. But if you'll remember, last year in Monaco, he ran really fast and ran 215. Now, outdoors versus indoors, Monaco versus Iowa City.
Season opener?
Yeah, season opener. But I put it at him getting a PR basically by a tenth of a second. That PR comes from Albuquerque 2017. So some altitude there as well, too.
I'm going over. I think he runs like 220.
220? Okay. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go just under. I think he opens this with a personal best in Iowa City. Also, that means we disagreed on all of them, which is good. There's going to be some movement in our over-unders this week.
Because right now you have 6 wins, and I have 3. So this is I can make a comeback here. It could be tied 6-6 after this, or it's up, or you're up 9-3 on me.
Doubling up. Yeah. Feeling good about the picks this week. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be exciting. Watch the Martin Luther King Jr. Collegiate Invitational live on FloTrack all weekend long. Also the BU Battle in Beantown. GVSU, Grand Valley State's also has a meet.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the Rad Sports Invitational, all live on Flow. just go to the website, click it. USATF Cross is Sunday or Saturday?
Ooh, that's a good question. It is on, man.
Probably Sunday, right? Or no, maybe it's Saturday.
It is the 21st. Tomorrow.
Okay, so it's tomorrow. So
From
Monday,
Richmond.
we'll have some reactions to all that, and it's going to be good.
Yeah. Anybody else in the chat? Got questions, comments? Get them out there now. Anthony says, more people will be back when track starts in full. Cross country bores me and many others. Hey, we only talked about cross country for like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, maybe they are.
See, Gordon, though, he's a cross country guy, so don't tell that to him. He'll yell at you about how it's the most important sport.
Can we talk about a tweet I did?
Sure. Yeah, this is a bad Gordon
This
tweet.
is not a bad tweet. This is a great
Wait,
tweet.
you talking about the track-related tweet or the non-track tweet?
Non-track related tweet.
Okay, so Gordon does a top 5, best person to receive a compliment from. My issue is with number 3. Number 3, he puts...
List out the 5 first. What was number 5?
No, I don't...
So number 5, so this is best person to receive a compliment from. Number 5, older brother saying good job. Because you know what? I look up to my old brother, and like when your older brother validates you, it feels really good to get that validation.
Okay.
Number 4, when a hot girl, or if you're a girl, a hot guy, says you're cute. That's a really good validation because you're like, whoa, you think I'm at your level? That's amazing. It's a good feeling. All right. Number 3, your child saying, thanks, Dad.
And this is where I have the problem.
So, but like...
How many kids do you have?
I have 0 kids.
Okay.
But I can imagine
he
the
really wants kids, folks.
Of a child say, like appreciating you is probably like one of the best feelings ever. No? Is it not a great feeling when your child is like thankful for you being their dad?
Yeah, but it might be number 1.
No, it's number 3.
No, it's not because you
number
don't
3.
know. You don't know.
No, all right. Well,
you put number 1 as the dentist.
We're not
what
number
if someone had not been to a dentist before? How could you possibly?
Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is when a girl or a guy you like says, I like you. Like, that's a good feeling because that's like...
Yeah, we get it.
It's good for, love is love, right? And it's great.
Okay.
And then number 1...
They said like. They didn't say love.
I use like because I'm trying to be, make it fun. And then number 1... This wasn't number 1 because I never had this experience.
Right, and then you crushed it with the dentist. Yeah.
I experienced the dentist saying, nice work, after flossing for the past 6 months. And it was the best feeling ever. And so in my mind, that is the best compliment to ever receive, is your dentist telling you, nice work.
Again, my only issue with it is you don't have kids.
Am I wrong though? I have them 3rd. It's not like I made the kids.
This is
like 5.
You're listing favorite places you ever traveled to, and you put a country you've never been to. It's just you don't know. I mean, I get it.
Hold on.
It's all a good setup for number 1.
I don't say best person to receive. I've received a compliment from. It just says best person to receive a compliment from. I don't imply that this is me receiving these compliments in the text. I'm just speaking on behalf of the world with this tweet. That has 3 likes.
This list is stolen valor.
Yeah, exactly. 3 likes. You're the only person who they get their tweets put up here, and your follower count probably goes down.
Yeah.
Oh. Adam says it's number 2 behind when they laugh at your bad dad joke. That's true. Thomas says I received a compliment about my coaching style from Coach John McDonald in 1995 about how I resembled him when I was his age.
That's a good feeling.
So a coach. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a coach saying good job, it feels good.
Yeah.
Does it feel better than your brother saying good job? I don't know. What's missing from this list? What would you put in this list? What's missing from your top 5?
My takeaway from this is in your pursuit for the joke, you just revealed some deeper issues with yourself.
What do you mean?
The kids thing.
That's not an issue. It's not an issue to think that a child saying thanks, Dad, is a top 3 feeling. That's not. I don't know. What? I didn't reveal anything. Yeah.
Thomas also says Gordon, it wasn't a shirt.
Longing.
You do have Larry King shoulders, and Tampico wants to know when the next sub pod is.
Next sub pod will be next week.
Yeah, that's the best compliment. When someone says,
"Where's the sub pod?"
Yeah, no, when they say,
"Thanks for the sub."
Good sub pod.
Thanks for the sub.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, we do need to do a sub pod. We'll probably do that next week.
Yeah.
We kind of, the first week was a little off and kind of getting our
Been multiple
feet
weeks
underneath us. You lost your keys on top of your car.
Oh, I thought you were going to say right now.
I'm going through the things I'm going through. So like we're just
You're trying to figure out your top 5 list of
top
other
5
things.
list. I mean,
Yeah.
I can do cheeses next.
Yeah.
Top 5 cheese.
Top 5 sporting events you've been to in Norway. Go.
That's
Bislett Games, number 1.
okay. That's good.
Lillehammer Olympics, you were there, right? I'm assuming. No?
It's not crazy. How would you feel if I left it out? Because if I made a list without that, you'd be like, it's better than all those things.
Yeah.
Your child saying he loves you.
And you would get engagement because then you get everybody being like, look at this guy. I didn't even put kids.
Yeah.
You say, I don't have kids. I don't know. But maybe one day I'll have kids and I can add it to the list.
I just think that, the whole bit was just to say it's cool to have
I
a
know.
dentist.
That's what I'm saying. And in pursuit of the bit, you just revealed some deeper truths about yourself. We're going to go. That's it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you stuck with us, we appreciate it.
Like and subscribe.
Lots to get to. Like and subscribe, yeah. Thanks to Colt for producing. Thanks to Gordon, my co-host. We will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.